sister and mother are killed is disaster, right? Utter disaster, right? And so the only way out is to say, look, I can't play on the margins with my pain. I have to be all in. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'll do anything. I just never, ever cave until I'm ashes, which means I get resurrected anyway. So fuck you. But look, I mean, you know, those who would say, yeah, you know, you could have just tough love it with this guy, and you know, ultimately it's a disorder of character. I would say, like, no, you don't understand. This is a 1 in a million shot that this person is able to actually decide, you know what, I'll deal with anything because there's some reason I've been asked to deal with anything. And it's not about the moment, it's about something to come. As soon as you decide, okay, I'm going to the gym of the pain gym.
That's exactly it.
Because then you turn everything into an advantage that was a disadvantage. You can look anyone in the face who says, we're going to, you know, you're in a contest of faith or strength or belief or anything and say, you can expand it. I put down crack cocaine after losing my brother and falling in love with his wife and her telling me to fuck myself. You think, like, you scare me? Like, you don't even understand. Like, I lost family members, I battled addiction. You have the exact wrong guy to go up against.
So, I have to become a 48-year-old kickboxer. I hear you. I fucking hear you.
Emotionally, yes.
I'm moving to, and I'm going to quit the crack and go on to the heroin. Because that's what they do over there, mostly.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm telling you. Listen, that's some pretty... That's some pretty out there advice, but I'll go with it. Man.
Well, in this way, you're fortunate. It's very clear what the test is. You pass the test, you're a strong man. Like, you know, you're Hercules. You don't pass the test, everyone breathes and says this is understandable and people are human. You pass the test, you're superhuman. So it's like, well, who doesn't want to pass that test? Well, lots of people don't want to is the answer, but if you choose to, you're unstoppable.
I thought I passed it before. That's the thing that's the scariest part, for real. I mean,
yeah.
You know. And, you
well,
know.
Look, I don't know that I do well with it either, but I'd hope,
No, I thought I passed it and realized this, is the test never ends.
The test never ends, that's what I was trying to say, exactly. The test
when do I get, and this is the total ego, when do I get to be Hercules?
Every time you're tested, and it's like recharging your batteries.
No, but for me, but
for you,
for the rest of the world. When do I get to walk into the fucking arena?
Whenever you decide that you're going to do it. When are you going to? Absolutely. Whenever you decide, you know what? Okay, let's go. But you have to have that core absolute belief, like you can cut my arm off or my brother's arm off. Like, you don't get it. I don't surrender. That's what I'm getting at, by the way, with the one example that the president provides is he doesn't fucking care. He's not. Yeah, I love a long shutdown, he says. Could go years. Because I'm invulnerable to pain. You people don't understand. You don't even get it. Shut it down. So there's that. I mean, I'm sure he has other problems, but like, you know, the big examples are Gandhi. You know, these are the big examples of people who are like, so I won't eat. Okay, let's see how that goes for people. Okay, I don't need to eat. I can die. It's okay. But it wouldn't have worked if he was like, look, I'm gonna do lines of coke until I have a stroke. People would be like, okay, this doesn't. The storyline has gotten too fucked up here.
Are you sure he didn't get coke?
I'm not sure because he loved girls.
But I still haven't told you.
Did Martin Luther King use a lot of coke? I don't know.
I don't know. See, you are such a racist.
No, yeah, right.
Indian did,
right. An Indian
no, he
black
didn't.
man.
He did not. Jesus Christ. Okay, but listen. You're so funny.
Oh, that mayor from D.C.
No, that's Marion Barry.
Barry.
Marion Barry. You know what? I actually smoked crack with Marion Barry. I swear to fucking God.
Jesus.
I was in Georgetown, and he used to go to a place right next to the guards. And I was a sophomore, I guess. It was a junior when that happened, but he used to come there and drink, like, late. And I would be in there. And he'd go to the bathroom. But anyway.
So are you ready to anticipate, welcome, and, you know, greet terrible pain?
To be honest with you, no, I am, I feel like, it couldn't get much worse than this.
No, that's true, but
I'll
well, I don't know.
This. No, I mean, it could get worse. I mean, obviously it could get worse.
Yeah.
But it doesn't get worse until you get, like, ultimately stopped, not by yourself, by someone else. I mean, by a, like, it gets worse when, I think, probably when you end up in jail.
It's a very pertinent question to ask, how do we build back better?
To build back better or whatever.
We have a chance to reset the clock and build back better than before.
To build back better than before.
Remember the terrible damage of COVID as we try to build back from this global pandemic.
Joe Biden calls it build back better.
Build back better.
Building back better.
To do things differently. To build back better.
We're going to build it back better.
And build it back better.
My plan to build back better.
Start taking all the problems that have been created in education and mental health and start to build back in a positive way.
I have launched a booklet called Build Back Better, Britain After Coronavirus.
It's about building this country back better.
Growing conspiracy following it. It is called the Great Reset.
An unprecedented opportunity to rethink and reset the ways in which we live.
The great opportunity for reset.
The theory even calls Mr. Biden's campaign slogan, Build Back Better, a front for the conspiracy.
Build back better.
Building back better our economy.
Build back better.
All elements of the Great Reset are fundamental to building the future we need.
This pandemic has provided an opportunity for a reset.
It's a big effort to, some would say, to build back better. We would say to really have a great reset.
Conspiracy.
Corporate America is already on board. Ford, BMW, and other car makers are revving up their efforts, agreeing to phase out the majority of cars on American roads today, instead going electric. GM pledging a zero-emissions fleet by 2035. Republicans say that proves private sector is leading the way and government should step aside.
And their plan would thrust the West Coast obsession with electric vehicles onto the entire nation.
But kiddo, I want you to just take a look, okay? You don't have to agree, but I want you to look in my eyes. I guarantee you, we're going to end fossil fuel, and I am not going to cooperate. Okay?
Just months after hiring former Biden transition official Andrew Lorenzen-Strait, Texas nonprofit Family Endeavors won a no-bid contract for as much as $530 million to provide care for the migrant children arriving at the U.S. border. Former ICE official and the country's first national migrant public advocate, Lorenzen-Strait worked for Lutheran Immigration and Refugee Service, LIRS, where he oversaw a national network of foster care for unaccompanied immigrant children, which seems to be exactly what he is doing for Endeavor through the McAllen Respite Center, where thousands of unaccompanied illegal immigrant minors are being shipped off to cities across America each week to live with whoever signed up on their website. Family Endeavors confirmed this. They said the work is a continuation of services we have delivered to the migrant population since 2012. Family Endeavors recently hired Basil Mousli as their Deputy Director for Migrant Services, who formerly worked for SARC, the Syrian Arab Red Crescent, who partnered with the United Nations and open border NGOs in the evacuation of Syrian refugees into Europe. It seems the endless pipeline of immigrants coming into the U.S. through McAllen, Texas, are coming in as refugees. And the amount of refugees we take in is decided by our senile puppet president, our corrupt Congress, and globalist government agencies, who all seem to now be aligned with the United Nations. And according to the United Nations Replacement Migration Program, the U.S. should have 593 million. So don't expect anything to be done about the endless import of these so-called refugees, all coming in to receive years of taxpayer dollars from our broken welfare system. It's all part of the plan to destroy the national sovereignty of Western nations. And if you still have a survival instinct that causes you to question this, then you are labeled a heartless right-wing bigot. There is no more common sense. Americans, along with the rest of the modern Western world, are being conquered by way of name-calling. And tragically, it's working.
Unlike the African-American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community. If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
My Democratic colleagues don't like me saying this. I think the two-party system is good for the South and good for the Negro, good for the black. And other than the fact that they still call me boy, I think they've changed their mind.
They're gonna put you all back in chains.
The first sort of mainstream African American who was articulate and bright and clean and nice-looking guy. I mean, that's a storybook, man.
It was hurtful to hear you talk about the reputation of two United States senators who built their reputation and career on the segregation of race in this country.
Are you going to apologize like Cory Booker has?
Apologize for what? For what?